Welcome back to another episode of What's on Your Mind podcast. It's a gloomy day today.
It's fucking awesome.
Kind of gloomy for me
It
too.
went so fucking slow. Why is it gloomy for you, bro? It sounded so sad.
Well, like my teams and stuff. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, the
Well,
Blackhawks are so bad. I can't believe he's confidently wearing a Blackhawk shirt.
Well, no, it's not. It's not gloomy because of the Blackhawks. Like,
Yeah, 'cause they're so bad. I stopped caring.
well, I'm gonna say the same cliche stuff that I've
Fake
been saying for the
Kansas
past 2
fan,
years.
fake Blackhawks fan.
Yep.
Biggest fake Kansas fan ever. I'll stand by that.
Yep.
Okay,
Oh.
we can just.
No,
He's a fan right before March, and that's it.
that is not true.
So true.
I keep up with them. I haven't been watching.
We'll circle
I
back
haven't
come
been-
Follows
November.
them on Twitter.
Or when does the college season
maybe-
start?
maybe
November, December.
November.
November.
Yeah, we'll circle back then. See how much.
By
Evan's giving a shit.
end of October, I'm buying tickets to Wisconsin UW River Falls. So
That's kind of hard for
We're
me to
different.
do,
We're
considering they
different.
play in Kansas.
less than a 10-hour drive, baby.
You know, in 3 years, in 3 years when
That's 10
when in 3 years when Kansas inevitably joins the Big 12, probably.
Nashville's 10 hours.
It's in 5
Yeah,
years.
Kansas was definitely going to leave eventually.
In 5 years, it's just going to be Big 12 SEC.
Big 10 SEC.
And no, they'll keep the
talking about
MAC.
Big 10.
Big 10.
They'll keep the MAC because honestly, the MAC's the MAC. You have to.
Well, all the small conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
But no, I resent that. I like pay attention to them. I haven't been able to watch games, but that's with everything. The only games I've been able to consistently watch these days are NFL games for obvious reasons.
Yeah, same.
But do you think I'm a fake Cubs fan?
No, because you pay attention every day.
Yeah, I pay attention to like Kansas updates and scores and everything else every day or week or whatever you want to say.
Every
for college, 'cause
week,
they don't play
that's
every
not a
day.
real fan.
Well, I mean, no, I'm saying it's different because they don't play every day like in baseball. So every few days.
I've already watched more Red Sox games this year than I have watched Celtics games all year.
I'll admit
I did not watch a single NBA game that Russell Westbrook was not playing in this year.
I've watched
I'll-
6 NBA games.
I'll admit
I
I've been
think.
slacking a little bit
Watch a
more
decent
compared to
amount
when
of
I was in like high school.
Still love the NBA, dude.
But no, I would
Holding on.
I would put my Kansas fandom right up there at the top as far as teams I'm crazy
Oh my
about.
God.
No, I
Yeah, if I was a Duke fan, I'd feel the same way.
don't get it.
If I
Blue blood?
if I just randomly picked one of the best teams historically, and
I didn't randomly pick them.
I'd feel that same way.
Mom's from Kansas. My first year.
dude, so is Jeff. Jayhawk fans.
Welcome aboard.
I'm
baby.
actually a Kansas State fan. So
If anything,
University.
my first
Jordy
year,
Nelson.
My first year being a Kansas fan was arguably one of their most. It was the year
First
that
year, it wasn't born into him. See, I was born a Yankees and Colts
I mean, yes, but I
and
didn't
Wisconsin Badgers fan.
What year? What year did you start watching the Yankees?
2002.
there's-
Shut up.
Okay. I'll stop talking. I thought this was a podcast.
You were born 2001 or 2002.
I was born 02, 2
I
months
forget- I
after
forget
opening
how-
day. And my fucking Jeff sat me
My Jeff.
sat me in front of that TV and said, "That's Derek Jeter." And I was like, "Derek."
First words.
First words. Derek.
What was your first game? Who were they
Days
playing?
old.
Tampa Bay Rays.
Well, blame my mom.
Tampa Bay
For,
Devil Rays, I mean.
Oh yes.
blame my mom for that thing because the earliest thing I remember about Kansas was my mom and my oldest sister freaking out when they won the national championship because it woke me up late at night. And then
God, two women freaking out about sports. I don't want to imagine that.
Oh, good.
Just basketball.
Why'd they start twerking too for some reason?
Dude, they
Sporting
would.
event. We're trying to cut the net and they're shaking ass.
I knew I shouldn't have mentioned my mom.
Hey, Fabe, what's on your mind, dog? What's on your
I'm not doing my mind yet. I'm trying to figure that out, dude.
Seth, what's on your mind, buddy?
Fucking shout out Dame. Dame's
Oh, he's
coming
back.
back.
He's
coming
off
back
his
sooner than we
medication.
thought.
Yeah.
Off
I
the
can't
blood
believe I can't believe
thinners.
they're fucking pushing him back from almost dying.
They're not pushing him back.
He almost died, and they're like,
Experts
you know what? We need
have
you.
done the proper testing and procedures. He's fine. He's still not playing game one.
I'm going to go ahead and say that Bucks training staff is a little rough because the amount of injuries from key players we have seen has been crazy
Man,
since
and that's
2021.
the worst time.
Yeah.
Every year.
There was probably like one question on
management.
there was probably like one question on his like health follow up today, and it was probably just will he Pete Maravich on the court?
Did Pete Maravich die on
Do
the
you guys? Oh, you guys don't get that?
Did
he
died in the court?
Not in an NBA game, but it was after he retired. But yeah, he like collapsed during like a pickup basketball game. 'Cause he had a heart attack.
There is a guy who died on the court.
Fun fact for you.
There's a guy who died on the court in a game.
That was
Yeah.
semi recently.
And in college. Well, there's been like 3 or 4, like a weird amount. What else you got in your mind, Seth?
I actually paralyzed a kid.
All right, fuck me.
That's all.
How did that happen?
I didn't paralyze a kid.
I played in a game where a kid was paralyzed.
That's awesome.
You didn't paralyze a
It
kid,
was-
but you. Sorry. Go ahead.
You want to take this outside? Bro?
Come on, we're talking about
right.
paralyzing
all
people.
right,
Dance
all
in the
right.
rain?
So it was one of my first years playing. I think I got that Savages fucking jersey around here somewhere. And
Savages?
Yeah, it was the Anthem Savages, number 88.
Okay.
I think I was a right guard at the time because I was
Right guard.
Right guard, 88.
I was fucking
the only one that fit him.
66 pounds in second grade. I don't know.
I don't know if that's a lot.
Probably.
No
is.
idea.
Well, I mean, at 5'2".
Not a lot.
It's like how much my dog weighs.
I'm trying to remember how old I was when I finally hit
Not a
triple
lot.
digits.
166?
I was in 5th grade when I
Yeah, I
hit
was
triple
gonna say
digits.
4th or 5th grade sounds about right. Is that it for what's on your mind though, or you got anything else?
He didn't even start his what's on your
He
mind.
said Dame's back.
Dame back.
Sorry.
So even though he's not playing
Be
Saturday,
present.
Bucks are winning Saturday in Indy.
Yeah, okay.
They'll split in Indy, come back to Milwaukee, win 2 games. I kind of want to go to that game Friday.
Dear District.
This Friday?
No,
next
well,
Friday.
not tomorrow. but-
No, series.
Oh, yeah,
start
duh.
till
Yeah, duh.
Saturday or
I
something.
can't. I have to
Yeah.
ump a whopping fucking 6 games for this bozo.
It's more than that.
Also, there was something I wanted to say to Evan.
You're a bitch.
Go around and I'll think of it.
Oh, Gunnar Henderson home run.
Evan, what's on your mind?
So yeah, like I said, gloomy day for me. Mainly, I mean, okay. Last episode, I was wearing a Bulls jersey, and I said,
Oh yeah.
I said that I was probably gonna look stupid saying this in like a week from then. But I felt confident that the Bulls could win the play-in and at least get to the postseason. At least be different from the last 2 years, and I was right. A week later, I looked stupid.
Yeah.
Dude, I told you the Giddler wasn't up for it.
For the
And actually, he had a good game.
no, the Giddler's fine. I'll lean into it. The Giddler's fine.
I haven't drank in
It's-
4 days. I gotta fucking.
All right, you earned it, buddy.
No, he's like one of the only ones who had a good game.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a gallon of water, everybody. There's nothing else in that. It's just water and vodka.
Good old 60-40 vodka to water
clean
split.
drinker.
Did you see his point?
He's a clean drinker.
gosh.
40.
That's crazy.
Let's be real. It was 70-30.
Probably.
There wasn't much. Like if you go like the amount of seconds that he was pouring, there wasn't much time pouring.
Oh my
water.
god. All right, Evan, sorry. What do you got? Keep going.
So yeah, and then Arturas Karnisovas had his end of this. For those of you who don't know, that's the Bulls like president.
I thought you were casting a spell.
No, I
What
wish.
the fuck is that name?
But he had his press conference thing today for the end of the season, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but he basically was saying in his. Normally, I don't hate on accents, but with him, I'm going to say his stupid accent just because he's a stupid person. But he was saying that he needs Bulls fans to be patient, that apparently, like I saw kind of like summaries of what he said, but apparently the roster could very well look very similar again next year. He thinks Josh Giddey and Kobe White are definitely, like, he doesn't want to interrupt what they have going for them to end the season.
A playing team.
And
Never want to interrupt.
I just got to say, how much more patient do you want a fan base to be when we haven't won a...
Everyone was about to say his first
I was about to say
swear word.
fuck. Yeah.
How patient do you want a fan base to be when we haven't won a playoff series since 2015, 10 years now? We haven't been to the actual playoffs in 4 years, and we won one single game in that series. Shout out Milwaukee for giving us one.
Gentlemen sweep.
Yeah. So it's just,
I mean, as fun as they were to watch the end of the season because they finished the season on a 15-5 run. But now it's back to the offseason where there's no plan. Probably not going to get. I don't know what free agents are coming in or who's going to demand a trade. I know there's talk of Ja probably being available, but I don't honestly. Call me crazy. I don't even want Ja on the.
Why would you said?
Yeah,
I would never want
Ja
on my team, but I want him to be in the league forever because every time he flashes guns, and then he does the hand grenade.
On the
He cracks me.
improvises
He cracks
with
me.
shooting.
What is so
I
funny?
love
what is
Ja,
so funny-
dude. He's
what
so
is-
stupid.
One thing I will say, yes, the league is hard on Ja, but what was so funny is that Ja was like, it's not Ja, but Ja's dad said this, and you could tell Ja was kind of not understanding of why he got fined. But Ja's dad was like, other people have done the same gun celebration. It was never a problem. They just got a problem with my son.
I don't know.
Ja Morant did a fucking shotgun, knocked that bitch back, and blasted in someone's face.
Yeah, the only thing
That was different than going like that.
I will say because I randomly realized one of my favorite celebrations used to be. You guys remember when Joakim Noah would do the pistols and
Yeah,
then
I
holster
remember
them?
that.
That's so different,
No,
though,
it's
yeah.
different. It's different. Yeah, and I don't think he did it at actual
I don't
players.
know. I think he's hitting more targets.
You're right.
point. That is.
Well, when you're a stadium that big, it's easy.
John Morant killed one person. Joakim Noah is a mass murderer.
Rain down
No,
a whole
actually, John
arena.
Morant did throw a hand grenade.
Yep,
True.
That is.
Maybe
But,
the
also,
body
but no,
counts
I think
equal.
it's
Who knows?
Joakim Noah's French. You're not really scared of a Frenchman.
He's not French.
He's something.
No, it's
He's fish.
Spain.
He's part fish.
Wow.
Look at that face, dude. That is a
Hold on.
fish.
Or maybe
Think
it's
he likes
because
fish sticks?
I think it's because his dad played.
Was that-
tennis
what are
in
you, a gay
France or
fish?
something. Let me look it up.
Nah, he's
Joakim
from
Noah's a gay
fucking some island or something.
I'm a gay fish.
Joakim Noah is a little not baseball reference, basketball reference. But no, actually, I'll go back to that. There are a couple more things that I had. TJ Edwards got extended today, 2 years, $20 million.
Shout out T.
I don't know how much
Yesterday.
of that. Yeah, huh?
Yesterday.
Sorry, thank you. I don't know how much of that is guaranteed, but honestly, even if it's all guaranteed, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's a lot of linebackers in that room. The Bears inside.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Jack Sanborn's gone.
Oh, is he gone?
He went to Dallas. He followed.
Tremaine Edmonds sucks.
I wasn't
No,
expecting
that's
him
the
to
thing.
go to Dallas,
Tremaine
to be
Edmonds
quite
will probably
honest.
this next season is going to be Tremaine Edmonds' last year.
And he's not that good.
Yeah, but no, I like extending TJ
down
Edwards.
of the
He's
sign.
very reliable. I like seeing that we extended him and Kyler Gordon. We extended Jalen Johnson and
I
Cole Kmet
can't
an offseason ago.
I can't believe TJ Edwards went undrafted.
Who do you want the Bears to take in the draft? What do you think? Because in my head,
They're gonna take
and
Genty. I know they're
and
gonna take Genty.
He's
The
not gonna be
Bears.
there.
The Bears win the offseason
do you guys have?
every year.
10.
He's gonna be there.
Yeah, he'll be
The Bears win the offseason every year. But I think for the first time in a long time, the Bears roster does not have many holes.
It's
See,
still, no, we
so-
still
no,
need to show up the line,
I-
but it looks better.
I think
No,
this
It does look a lot better.
They do have
you
it.
have 4 starting O linemen. Though.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we all saw the problem though. I mean, it was coaching, and now that they got Ben Johnson, this is the first year I actually will say
was it the coaching?
the Bears. Yes, it was
yes,
coaching.
yes.
Some of those
No.
O
Dude, you
linemen
could just-
look like
no,
even
yes,
if they had the
O-line.
best coach ever,
Coaching
there
and
was
the
no
O-line.
fixing
But
that.
coaching in the O-line.
Yes, but once even though he only had a couple of games as OC because he got promoted to head coach 2 weeks later when Eberflus got fired, the couple of weeks that we had Thomas Brown as our OC, he was at least calling plays that put the linemen in better chances to succeed by by moving the pocket, by
That's what I'm saying.
by-
I'm not
by
even
doing
saying
quick
that.
throws and stuff.
Sustainable in the
No,
NFL.
I'm not
no,
even
I agree.
saying
I
that.
agree. But no, I'm saying that's why. Well, no,
I'm talking about establishing a
How
culture,
many games-
getting players
Yes.
to buy in, getting players that give a
Well,
shit.
all that matters.
and
The only way
look
you
like
can
they
do
give
that
an
in the NFL is
effort.
by winning games.
That's my biggest
But no,
thing.
That's
the-
only way you do that is by winning.
the
Building a
Phil
culture?
Mary.
Dude, the Lions did it even though they only had 2
Justin.
wins, and
And
then
people were still
and then
people were still dipping out, and then now
Well,
then they had their first winning season. And everybody's
fans.
all right,
no,
now I love
fans.
this.
Fans might have been dipping
was
out. I'm talking
that
about the
first
players. The players were all in,
record
even
of
when they
the
only had like
first
2
season
wins.
of the Lions?
Then the next year they didn't even make the
About
playoffs,
4 years ago.
and they still.
I can't hear you. Ethan's still going.
Because we were having a conversation and then he interjected.
Yeah.
All right.
So with that being
no, the
said,
Lions
shut your
only had
fucking
2
mouth.
wins and players
Big
were still
dog.
buying in whenever it was low wins. And then
Hold on.
and then the next year I'm gonna keep going. The next year, they fucking didn't even make the playoffs, and players were still buying in. They were two ass teams. You can get somebody to buy in without having
People weren't buying.
being a player.
No,
players.
actually, I agree.
Players
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No,
You could
I agree.
visibly
What I will say,
see
what
it.
I will
You could
say is
visibly see it.
there were some players,
The
but
players.
some of those veterans were still like, get me the fuck.
But
out.
the players bought in.
mean, you saying when
who are
Dan
the
Campbell
veterans
got
that said, get
there?
out of
Which
here?
are the
Yeah.
rookies,
Who were the veterans that said, get out of here?
The
What team
rookies
are you
and young,
talking
the
about?
rookies and young
Lions.
guys.
Lions.
Oh, that's exactly what I just said.
The rookies and young guys are what changed the culture way more than anything else. Guys who weren't there when they were that bad.
Well, Amon-Ra, Jared Goff came in.
Amon-Ra was a rookie. You couldn't fucking go anywhere. in those
But
bad games.
Anzalone.
He was also young. But I agree.
couldn't
still
go
young.
anywhere.
I agree with both of you, but
I'm saying it's more so the mentality part, not just because you could still be a rookie and be like, fuck this.
I'm not gonna lie. Getting in the heads. What I say about Dan Campbell, yeah, leader of men, all this bullshit, yada yada yada. Respectfully, a lot of those guys probably think he's just another corny motherfucker.
I don't know.
And they
I think
did
buy in.
respect.
I
and
think they buy in.
They do, but buying in meant nothing until they were winning games. Everything Dan Campbell was saying was just words, but it meant nothing to them. They were like, "All right, now we're winning games."
I think there was a whole vibe shit.
Hold on.
There
was
Let me say something. Let me say
whole
something.
vibe. It was huge.
Let me say something.
Yeah,
You-
by a good GM.
Let me say
Good
something.
GM
He
for
is
getting good players.
He is 100% correct, and a good piece of evidence for another situation like that was the Cubs with Joe Madden. When
Two totally different sports, bro.
if I could finish talking just once in this podcast, I swear. No, in
off King
2015 through 2017 and most of 2018, up until they choked and the Brewers took the division. Joe Madden had all these crazy shticks or whatever, and crazy lineups, crazy themes on planes and everything. And with a young team, keeping everybody loose and relaxed and everything, that worked. And then once they started hitting some adversity and everything, and things weren't going so well, and he was still trying to pull the same, crazy, shticks and stuff. Suddenly it wasn't fun anymore, and everybody's like, "Okay, no, we're done with it. If this guy's not actually gonna bring out the X's and O's, then we're done."
If Dan Campbell gave those, because listen, I liked Dan Campbell a lot at first. I did. But if those speeches are fucking getting annoying.
No, Justin, I think
If he gave those stupid ass speeches
right.
and they weren't winning games, all those players would have been like, "Get this corny ass white boy out of here. This man don't know shit."
I think
At
you're a
this
little too
point-
early
But no,
on it. It might happen eventually if
At
they
this
get bad.
point-
Right now, I
But
think
that's what I'm
they
saying.
definitely
Winning.
buy.
That's what I'm saying. They're only bought in because they're winning games.
Yeah.
And what Ethan said, they went from 2 wins to barely missing the playoffs. That's when people were like,
Yeah, exactly.
"Oh shit."
Honestly,
Like,
yes.
Now
No
we're gonna
shit.
buy in
No-
because we're winning games.
Yeah, obviously, no shit. If you keep losing, you're gonna lose the gusto or word you want to use for it. But I'm just saying
gusto.
they bought in. Then is my whole point. They knew they were still a bad team and they still bought
Did
it.
they buy in or did they have nowhere to go because their best players?
No,
were-
they bought it, dude. You could watch it with the interviews. It was talked about, how players talked about the team, how they talked about their outlook was so much more positive.
I think in general, I do think they. And you can
The
also
Lions
tell
got
that-
popular.
No,
People
no,
started caring.
No, because it's because they
Everybody
like you said.
cares about a bad team that becomes good.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how many each of those years we kept even a lot of us kept saying dude, Lions might actually be scary this year, and then they only won 7 games, but they beat the Packers to keep out of the playoffs. It's that might be an actual huge momentum.
And then that GM comes along and puts together a good team, and then
Well,
that's
yeah.
what did it. Not some guy changing vibes.
I think the vibe change helped a lot, especially because even you're talking about rookies. When rookies come in,
I think
that's
that
a mind
helps a
that you
lot.
have to mold, and he
helps a
molded
lot.
it perfectly.
That helps a lot in college and high school, but they're just there to make millions and win games. They don't give a fuck about all those dumb speeches.
I think they do. They do. They really do.
If you're there,
Half the team, maybe.
I think
there
the
to win
good
games-
teams all do.
The whole
The good
team
teams
for
do.
sure.
I think they care, but I think there's a very short leash. I
And
will.
also now look at the Lions. They didn't have playoff success, and everybody's immediately like, Dan Campbell's not that good. A lot of people were saying that immediately. Like, what does Dan
Those are
Campbell
just hate.
actually?
They're always
Now that-
they have a lot
That
of stupid
is
people.
stupid. Their
Why
whole
is-
defense
why is
was
that
fucking
stupid?
injured.
I'm talking about players.
They had the
I'm not
great-
talking about fans.
They had arguably the greatest offensive coordinator in the last 25 years.
How many points did they put up when they lost?
Not a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Well, Jared
Wait.
Goff threw fucking
Oh
40
yeah, no, they did.
A lot.
It was what, 24, 30 something.
The Commanders, honestly, it was never in doubt.
Yeah.
Commander scored like 40 or 50.
I think it
Yeah,
was 42.
I don't really know the
45.
exact number, but
All right, let's keep this shit moving though.
I
We've been
was
going
gonna
for a while.
say this though, just to go
Oh.
off your point. It was when you're talking about like culture. Fuck me. I fucking waited too long. I forgot.
All right, Evan, what do you got?
This one is courtesy of our friend Sean Weezy. He had a request / question he would like to see us answer.
Easy
So
breezy, wheezy.
I'll do it right away before I forget. If you guys were in the MLB and you were a closer or a batter, what would your walk up or walk out song be?
It'd be the intro to Jesus Walks.
I thought about this randomly
Or the
recently,
intro
and I
to that. What's that J. Cole? One of the J. Cole songs. Intro to those. I don't want the lyrics as much as I want the music. That's my thing.
Yeah, honestly, that is a big part of it.
You got yours?
If you don't, I'll say mine.
Say yours.
Just say
My
yours.
first thought is Bulls on Parade. Just
Sing it
start
for
with
me.
that
Yeah,
as,
a lot of these I'm probably gonna have to hear them. You don't have to say it perfectly, but just give me a little tune or
Well,
something.
no, it's just like the guitar. at the
Oh,
start.
yeah.
'Cause
no, I got one.
See, the guitar goes on for a long time at the beginning,
I want to change mine.
and I would just want the.
I do want to change mine. Power.
Oh yeah, good one.
That's a good one.
I love that.
That's your song for when you're in a helicopter. You jump out and you're parachuting down onto
Saints
the
Row
city.
3.
Yeah.
Crazy Story Part 3.
Oh, fuck.
Good old
Again, I need to hear it.
Crazy
Do
Story or Rico.
Crazy Story.
Oh, Rico's story was it.
you have yours, Fabe?
No, I don't.
Mine. I think would definitely be "Hail to the King."
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
cool.
honestly, like Seth said, if it,
Oh,
most of the,
copyright. All right. The coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, though, was when Brighton Stock came out to Mr. Brightside. The whole stadium started singing it even after it ended, and then he hit a grand slam.
I'll do fucking Fame by David Bowie.
I don't
Again.
know it.
sing it.
Fame makes the world seem
Yeah, I do know it. Yeah, that's a good song.
All that song just to strike out.
Yeah,
All right, Ethan, what-
Strike out.
Ethan, what's on your mind?
3 of them in a
All
row.
right. You know what's on my mind?
Black people.
Fuck the Packers. All right. You know,
Hear those.
Why do you say that?
I had an opinion. I had an opinion that I thought the Packers needed an owner, and I think
15
it's still
good reasons
true.
why the Packers
I
should
think
have an
it's.
owner.
I think it's still true. But and you're an idiot. I just kind of want to freestyle about how much I hate the Packers right now because their fans are absolutely hell bent on them having the greatest franchise of all time.
Green Bay Packers
Hell-bent.
fan base, worst fan base.
All right,
Also-
you want to tell me? I'm not done. I'm freestyling right now.
Yeah,
all right,
Evan,
you
I was
want to
I
tell
was
me?
gonna add it to a little disclaimer.
You
but go
want
ahead.
to tell me that you have the greatest franchise of all time, Titletown. Actually, fuck that. Titletown belongs to the New England Patriots.
Titletown blows,
All
by
right.
the way. You ever been there?
And then it's it blows
Does not
ass.
blow.
The Lambeau Field blows ass, by the way. All right, it's a
Titletown
stupid ass
blows.
bowl.
It doesn't even have
Lambeau
the
Field is a
cheese in town.
stupid ass
Go to
bowl.
the best
Go to
cheese.
any other
right.
other tailgate party
you know-
or area outside of an NFL stadium, and you'll laugh at Titletown.
And then on top of
Touchdown
that,
Town in Indy, baby.
I was there
You
one
what?
time and they told
I'm
me to
not
turn
done.
down my music. I think
Biased
somebody told me to
fan.
stop throwing my football around.
I've never been to a
Those
game
two outfits
outside
are
of
also fucking old.
Lambeau, so.
I've been to one game at
No, I'm
Lambeau.
saying I haven't.
Oh.
So I don't know.
You know,
I don't
actually,
I don't recommend
I'm gonna
Chicago.
say it again. I've been to one game.
I was about to say.
I'm staying quiet over here.
I was going to throw in the Chicago Bears game is not a fun experience.
No, it's not. Soldier Field sucks.
It's so bad.
Because it's in the middle of fucking everything.
Yeah, there's no tailgating.
There's an
There's no
aquarium like
Same
nothing.
3 minutes away.
And former Mayor Lightfoot thought that
At least Wrigley has Wrigley.
Oh, she's
Hill.
scary.
Dude, former Mayor Lightfoot was like, "Oh, we'll just slap a dome on top of the existing Soldier Field and call it good."
God, that was bad.
Everybody's like, "You're an
That
idiot."
is
All right.
such a bad area.
All right, I'm not done. All right.
Yeah, keep going. I hate the fucking Packers.
All right, I'll tell you about my one experience
Rodgers,
too.
most
When I
overrated
went
QB in
to
NFL
when I
history.
went to Lambeau one time, been to one NFL game, regular season NFL game, Packers versus Patriots. We were down to our third string quarterback Brian Hoyer. At that time, Mac Jones was our starting quarterback. We lost the game by a field goal, a little walk-off field goal. But as I was leaving the stadium, I'm wearing my Brady jersey. I have so many people yelling at me. And the thing I keep hearing is, "How does Brady look now? There. Hey, you guys." You guys aren't going to win a Super Bowl this year. It was
Worst
like the
shit
worst.
talkers
What
ever.
are you saying to
Ever.
me?
The
No
worst
shit.
shit
We're a
talk
bad
ever.
team. And what do you mean Brady's not even playing right now? This motherfucker was. I think he was either retired at that point or on the Bucks at that point.
Dude.
But we're still going. We're fucking walking back, and they're just hammering me with shit. And I'm like, I don't know how to respond because it was the most incoherent garbage I've ever heard in my entire
Dude, they're
life.
not real.
Didn't make any
They
sense.
know nothing
Didn't
about
make
sports.
any
They have
sense.
absolutely nothing of value.
No
to
knowledge.
try and
Turning
bring
your back
up.
on your
Yeah.
family?
Huh?
Turning your back on the Packers?
We're talking about the. You're not even listening. We're talking about the Bears now.
Oh, that's right.
No, what?
No, I was.
Packers?
No, I'm talking
No,
about the
I
Bears.
was
We're
on-
not
I
just
was
talking
on.
about the Bears now.
I'm talking about the Packers.
The TV and I.
Oh no,
What did you say F me for?
I gotta respect. I thought you were saying the Bears when you went there.
I went there for a preseason game.
assumed based on
I was talking about when I went to Lambeau.
Oh, nobody has
Lambeau.
anything
No,
to offer?
I'm gonna.
Oh, it must be a Bears
my-
fan.
I'm gonna keep spitting about the fucking
You
Packers.
talking about Lambeau?
Lambeau.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah. All right. Let me keep going. All right.
But
All right. This
Still
shit.
applies.
This shitty.
They had nothing to argue
No,
about.
this shitty title town. All right, they want to talk about title town. You won 2 Super Bowls back when black people had like four black people in the
had
league.
4
All right,
complete
we
rights.
don't vote yet. We don't.
All right.
Those Super Bowls
Late
just do not
60s.
count. You ever heard of shotgun? They hadn't. All right. And then, so also I want to say in the last 57 Super Bowl champions, 55 of them had owners, had actual owners. All right. Kind of a crazy stat. And I know the Packers fans might say 2 Super Bowls in the last 25 years isn't that bad. Well, you know what? For how much you guys dick ride them and think it's such a great franchise, call yourself Title Town. That's not a lot of titles in that town.
And the rest of
All
the
right?
years, you're just fraudulent.
You're
Super Bowl
fraudulent.
contenders.
You're a team that makes the playoffs
You look in the
every
mirror.
year.
You look in the mirror and tell yourself you're going to go somewhere, but in reality, you're just going to fucking have a first round exit again.
Yep.
And then blame your coach like you do every year. It's the funniest thing ever. All season long.
Fire the- hashtag fire the player.
I hear he's the greatest coach ever all season long. You lose a playoff game. Every fan in the entire fan base turns on this guy. And that's when it's like, wow. Wow, you guys are clowns.
Yeah, you
No,
fucking
it's
stupid.
a
bastards.
very
I will say this, dude. You guys
spoiled fan base.
more than spoiled. Just
Why-
give me your
why is it
picks.
I don't even know why it's spoiled. Yeah,
Why
because
is it
they're
spoiled?
letdowns every year. They're the most.
You're not
They're
even
the
half
most.
of a fan.
They're such a top organization that is not good at all.
There's letdowns every
it's
year.
Insane.
They're-
they
yeah,
they
same
get
here.
letdown
Celtics
after
are
letdown.
contenders for
Honestly,
like
I don't
30
think they do
fucking
that.
I don't
years
give a
straight.
fuck about
Super
being
Bowl
contenders.
contenders. They're playoff.
You
They're
could have
contenders.
argued for like 25 years straight that the Packers were going to almost be in it almost every year.
I would.
playoffs.
You know
Yeah.
what's
Only
crazy?
3
Or like maybe
teams,
not.
dude.
I
Being a
wouldn't
gonna
say
win
it.
the
Contender
Super
is not
Bowl.
the goal.
See, and
But they were definitely
the
going to be
thing-
in the playoffs.
And
That
that's
doesn't
what I'm saying.
matter. That doesn't
That's
matter.
what we're saying.
It's kind of like
They are the
kinda
best
like-
mid-team.
it's kind of like Evan's
That's
point.
where you have.
It's kind of
that's where
like
you start.
it's
It's making the fucking playoffs.
yeah, but
30
that's
years.
the thing. That's what we're saying is
Okay.
like there's a start, but like there's been no
how many teams
clear
have more
progression.
than one fucking Super Bowl?
0 outs.
I don't know, but I don't give a fuck.
count
All
our
right? That
championship?
doesn't fit my narrative right now. It's kind of
Less than half
and
the
it's-
fucking
it's-
league.
it's- yeah, but they didn't want to
Packers
give
suck.
Aaron Rodgers a first round quarterback once. Every single year,
Yeah, they-
every
they
single year with
literally just-
Rodgers was
Dude.
the first round receivers are non-existent. Every single year it was with Rodgers. The fans was get rid of him. Screw 12. He does well during the regular season. All right, this guy's not that bad. All right, he does great. He's better than Brady. Lose in the first round. Fuck this guy. Get rid of him. What is that? That makes no sense. That's what it is. It's not even the fact they're not. They're good. It's the fact that the fans. I'm mad at the fans. The
above
fans are so fucking bad.
It's tough because
I agree.
I don't
I
agree with
That's
what
why
like
I hate hating on the Packers this
like
much.
Packers. And
I
shit
do.
are saying
I like the
all the
Packers. I'm from
time.
Wisconsin.
I
I
don't
like
really
the
agree with
Packers.
a lot of the
But I go to.
mainstream.
Oh my
Packers,
God.
like, fans.
bad.
I can almost probably guarantee you that all 70 whatever of those people that commented on that TikTok probably all follow Ike Packers. But I know.
Oh my God!
But no,
I Packers. I hope you watch this. Fuck you.
I have a question.
Packers,
You're
I
bad.
hope you die.
You're so bad.
I have a question for Seth. Do you feel like in your time as a Packers fan that there have been too many times where they were holding on to GMs for too long, even though GMs were clearly like not
Yes.
getting the
Sorry.
job done year in and year out?
Definitely.
See, quick follow up for that.
And like, I know it's just a big like loyalty.
It's still
is
you,
really
right?
big in the organization.
It's still you,
like-
right?
Huh? Yeah, it's still good.
Dump them.
GMs, do you feel like should have been dismissed a little bit earlier?
Well, fucking all the way back to Wolf. I think Ron Wolf was who drafted.
What year was that?
Favre.
That was like 97, 96.
8?
Oh,
Or no, like
no, way earlier, like 90.
Earlier.
No, they didn't even. He didn't draft Favre. They traded for Favre.
yeah,
Traded for Favre.
But no, see, sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, I feel like because it's been Wolf and then Thompson and now
It's
Who's-
you.
who's-
Well, no, you guys had Dorsey at one point. Didn't you have Dorsey
Oh yeah,
at one
Ted,
point?
you're talking about Ted Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah, Ted Thompson was there for a long time.
Yeah, and no,
you guys have Glenn Dorsey?
I think he's the one who like comes to mind.
Oh,
of,
big
like,
time he was there.
Yeah.
way past when he should have been.
And the reason I ask is because a lot of the comments were saying like, "Oh, if you have an owner, you just have a guy who's serving his own ego and everything, and isn't for the fans or whatever." But like, again, this is just my opinion and how I kind of view it. I feel like having the committee or the board or whatever, even though apparently there's a president that still makes sole decisions, so I don't know. Like it's
Mark
like,
Murphy,
but oh yeah,
bitch.
but like
Yeah.
it's-
I'm
it's-
900% sure he
it
doesn't
seems like
make
having
sole
a
decisions.
board who all like if you don't have one single person that's like able to say like, nah, get the heck out of here, you're not doing good enough or whatever, like you get stuck with. I won't necessarily call them quite mediocre because obviously, like you say, all the division titles going to the NFC Championship, like in like or second round and stuff. So like it's just above mediocre, but like obviously not getting the job done all the way. So you would think that having an owner would kind of get away from that, or would kind of clean house sooner
So having an owner would put more pressure on.
People to
on the
succeed.
GMs to succeed.
Yes,
yeah,
because
yeah.
and then you know what? I just actually there was one comment that I saw early, which I'm not mad about you guys commenting. Keep talking shit to me because fuck you. I'll fucking respond. Fuck you.
It is a great read.
The
Great read.
the one person, and we're talking about the president still makes decisions. No, he doesn't. I looked it up. He does refer to a board. They have a board of directors.
When did the Yankees?
That
The Packers,
just like
the Packers have a board of
Any
directors that
fucking
have input.
public company that
Yeah, it's like yeah.
No,
lets them make decisions.
Yes.
another thing.
It's insane. They don't. It's not just the president. He listens to a group of idiots.
No, and that's the crazier thing. There were a lot of people saying that apparently the stocks or whatever are actually real because they apparently do get a vote on something. Is it just
No,
me
no,
or
no.
no?
No. But if anyone tricked you, they vote on nothing important.
Okay, well, no, I was gonna say even if that is true, isn't that worse?
They're just letting fans have a fucking
Exactly.
say in anything. Especially
like-
your fans,
like-
especially Packer fans having a say.
Packers fans
I
can
say
holy
we should not.
But no, and not even to be hypocritical. Like I know I sit here and say like, oh, the Bears need to do this, Bears need to do that, we need to hire this guy, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, I am nowhere near qualified to be making.
I
those
should
decisions.
not get a vote.
And I don't get paid to, so no, I should have no.
You know
say in
what?
it.
Also,
I
I'll
just-
throw you a bone real quick, Packers fans, just to create some peace. I'm a Patriots fan. Since our dynasty has come to an end, my fans have been pretty stupid on Twitter.
Oh, Bears
sometimes
fans are
I
stupid
read
too.
I read those tweets and I'm just
I
like
unfollow
you guys
them.
are
Those are
so
the best.
you guys are so spoiled by winning.
Those
You
were
don't
assets.
know what it you need. Oh god, dude.
I unfollowed Bears like blogger reporter or whatever today. I think his name's Aaron Fleming. Aaron Fleming, if that is your real name, you're an idiot. I unfollowed him today because he had a problem, or not even just a problem. He was like completely against the TJ Edwards extension. Like you're against extending for 2 years.
Justin.
One of the better linebackers in the league. Yeah, because those just grow on trees.
All right, Justin, what's on your mind, or Fabe, what's on your mind? Who wants to go first? Fabius, what's on your mind?
Honestly, just about fucking anything. I've been thinking about people, family, friends.
It's beautiful.
Football season isn't here yet, so that's kind of upsetting. But I am looking forward to everything that's going on. I watched Jack Reacher earlier. You guys seen that?
The TV show?
I've heard that's a
Not the
good show.
TV show, the movie.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Let
Oh
me
yeah,
tell
because
you-
the TV show is just called Reacher.
Okay. So it's actually pretty funny. And there's this scene in the movie. So there's this girl. She ends up dying. Ends
She
up
hot?
Would.
But she's
Would.
laid out. And you know how like the inspector, the health inspector from SpongeBob was, where like the tongue was out?
Oh
Yeah.
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 That's how this chick was laid up, right? And the detective showed up and he's like shaking his head and he's like, oh fuck. Goes back and he's looking for the suspect, and he looks at the attendant in the beginning, and he's like, I need somebody who could kill this girl with one hit to the face.
Like a punch?
Yeah, like one punch to the face. And she goes, you're going to want the guy in 1109. Now, granted, from the Jack Reacher movies, it's Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is 5'4", 139 pounds soaking wet, right? In the movies, he's 6'4", 270.
Yeah.
Or
Is that what
not
they
the movie-
say?
not in the
No,
movies, but in
they
the books,
literally
the books.
like if
Oh,
you
oh,
6'5",
well,
270.
well, also if you watch the movies like and then there's scenes where you can't see his whole body, they and like he's next to people, they put him on like a crate or
Yeah,
like
he's
something
like
he'll
on a
walk on.
pedestal. And then he's like, first of all, how'd you know who I was talking about? And he just looked back at her and she goes, you'll see. This is the best part about the movie. He pulls up in a car and we know damn well he pulls up and he's driving and he's like, don't you back away. Don't you back away. And then we know damn well if he stepped outside of that car, he'd be at the same height as the car if he were to get out. So they don't let him step out the car. And that's like the thing about the movie. I thought that shit was so hilarious. And even like throughout the movie, there's scenes where he's at this bus stop. And there's this dude that's like 4 or 5 inches taller than him. And he's looking him up and down. He's like, wow. Like he's this magnificent beast or something. But he's still 4 inches shorter than him and 40 pounds lighter than him. I don't know. But that's it. That's all that's on my.
That's
how stupid that fucking
story
movie
time.
was.
I wish
Seen it.
I wish I could
it.
see. There probably isn't any because Tom Cruise is so crazy he would never let it be.
Big
filmed.
Scientology guy.
Oh yeah, but I wish there was a behind the scenes shot of them filming him running in Mission Impossible because they always get they have to get those really low to the ground shots because they have to make him look tall and
Yeah.
like heroic and stuff. Whereas if they were filming like this, it'd be like, why is everybody taller than him?
Yeah.
But
Why are they following this fucking teenager around the
I
city?
do-
yeah.
That's my favorite thing when I watch Tom Cruise movies is I do look for like the things like
The
that, where
adjustments
it's
they
like
have to
the
make
adjustments
and-
they have to make, and the things they don't let him do because they can't let you know how he won't let them let you know
that's
how
why
short he is.
That's why he was so good in Top Gun. He was just sitting in a plane the whole time.
Even like, dude, oh my God, Top Gun. Every cut of Tom Cruise from Top Gun is the camera like this.
You mean Mission Impossible?
They never showed
Or
his
both,
full
I guess.
body. They only showed half.
It is
of
all
So if he was
Yeah.
like laying on
upper
the
body,
ground, it'd be his
yep.
butt. But if he was like standing up, it'd be like from here up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 feet back, so you can't see how short he actually is.
No, actually, in Top Gun Maverick, I hate that we're just talking about Tom Cruise now, but it's still funny. In Top Gun Maverick, there's a scene where he, like, I don't know, loses something in like a bar or whatever, and or his card declines. So there's like a rule that you have to get thrown out of the bar, and there's like 4 like Navy corpsmen, whatever the term is, soldiers, like that takes to like carry him out or whatever. I'm like, this size, I'm sure 1 or 2 would probably be
Yeah.
fine. They could have got the
One
job
would
done.
be okay.
One would definitely be okay.
Put him over
Like,
your shoulder.
Yeah, come on, buddy. Let's get out of here.
Lift him up like,
Honestly,
like a baby.
If you shove him hard enough, he'll be able to go. I'm like, hey, get out of here. Dude. Just move towards the door.
You could
bro.
probably play catch with Tom Cruise. we could play catch with Tom Cruise.
We're gonna get him
Hey, watch what you're saying about Tom, man.
Yeah, because I'm gonna fucking die. That's what it's
get a
gonna be. He's gonna
defamation.
Scientology
cast
community is
gonna
basically the
cast a
mafia.
Scientology spell on me and get me killed.
Dude,
Yeah,
one of these
you know what
days,
he's capable of.
H2O Apocus.
one of these days, like when it's like a slow, like we're in the dog days of summer or something. There's not much to talk about. We need to do a whole episode dedicated to just how stupid Scientology is.
Scientology.
Yeah. See, Justin's a Scientologist. Watch out, dude. All right, Justin, what's on your mind, big dog?
Aaron Judge is the greatest hitter to ever play the game.
That's Barry Bonds.
You're saying that as a Yankee fan when
It's not a
Babe
not a
Ruth
Barry Bonds.
exists?
Oh, don't even get started on Babe Ruth again. You know what you're doing.
Barry
You know
Bonds.
what you're
Did you say
doing.
Babe Ruth?
Babe Ruth wouldn't have started that Yonkers varsity. Aaron Judge is the greatest hitter of all time.
Barry Bonds.
No, you're wrong.
Okay.
Aaron
Miguel
Judge.
Cabrera.
Who?
Miguel
Coco
Cabrera.
No. Aaron Judge had. I was looking through the stats, and before I said this for the last 2 years, half joking, half serious. But it's getting to the point after this start to the season. If Aaron Judge was also taking the best steroids you could get your hands on,
I don't give a fuck about that.
he would put up way better stats than Bonds.
I don't care about that.
Why? Because Aaron Judge has averaged 58 home runs in his last 4 full seasons while being top 5 in flyouts to the warning track all 4 years.
I don't care about
Give him a little roids in his arms, all those turn into home runs. He hits fucking 80 of them.
Honestly, if we're
you might
just
be
talking about
right.
purely,
It's fucking 80.
if we're talking just purely hitter, like not best baseball player of all time, I think I'm still weirdly gonna go Pete Rose just because the 4,000 hits. I think it's hard for me to dispute that.
Are you
It really is.
saying?
Getting good at
Okay,
flip
let me-
singles doesn't make you the best.
Honestly,
hitter.
Derek Schwartz
Well,
is my
I
guy.
also, I'm not saying that because I hate discrediting Pete Rose.
Yeah.
He's one of the best baseball players ever.
One of the best gamblers.
But you have to have elite power to back it up too.
I mean, yes, and
Yes, and I think Ichiro's the only exception.
then what it sounds like you're talking about is best slugger of all time.
No, best hitter.
'Cause-
Aaron Judge's batting average the last 3 years is 333.
You know, honestly, I still will say this till I die. Ichiro is right there
Yeah.
at number
No,
1.
I'll-
Especially because think
He
about
has
how
the best eye of all.
Think
time.
no.
He is the best.
No,
He's the hardest out
listen,
of all
Just
time.
listen. Think
That's
about
a good
how.
one
Think
for
about
him.
Hardest out of all time.
Ichiro wasn't a rookie until he was 28,
27.
27.
No, I like Justin's
And he
argument.
still had
Hitting has
3,000
to encompass.
Ichiro had
Gotta encompass
Ichiro
everything.
still had 3,000 hits before he turned 40.
And I
And he didn't join the league till he was 27. That's the thing. He's not even getting walked. He's hitting that bitch every
like I said,
time.
like that's what I'm saying. Incredibly hard out. Well, back in the day,
Back in the day, it was like 2006, dude.
the MLB has changed, and no league has changed more than the MLB.
All right, sorry.
since
When I say back in the day, I mean like 1980s.
No, that's true.
I didn't
That's
think you were thinking.
Say that.
Even as much as football's changed, I still agree that baseball has changed.
Baseball's changed a lot.
baseball
I
has changed
thought-
more than football.
No, I thought that you. Yeah, I think
If
baseball's
that's
changed
what you
more than
guys are
football.
arguing
In
about.
what way?
Okay,
They literally all pitchers were using sticky stuff, took that out of the game. So now spin rates basically were cut in half.
made the bases bigger.
Made bases bigger. That like they are doing things that is
You know,
changing
also
the game.
fields or stadiums, they've actually only pushed their walls farther.
Shifting.
They haven't
shifting. All the NFL has done is changed a few rules.
the
That hasn't really affected the gameplay.
Ever-
The gameplay. It went.
The
from
gameplay's different.
It went from fucking.
Went from headhunting
Running back
to
down-
fucking-
no. They
now
changed
we're
the
back
whole
to
gameplay.
running backs.
No.
Wait,
He
wait.
means
So we-
it's how it's so hard to play defense now than before because there's so many more penalties you can get.
well,
And then on top
Yeah,
of that, it went from 400.
okay. So yeah, I mean, every league has changed. Even that, like
I
even
do
NBA has
kind of
changed,
agree with them.
but-
Baseball's changed a ton.
but also
Baseball's
the,
changed
the,
so
the, the,
Especially a game where it's been
So
the same
analytical now?
concept
The
every time, and the rules haven't really changed.
the 3-batter rule for relief pitchers. You can't just have I mean, you can still have
yeah,
and we're
rules
just-
change.
we're just
Rules
naming
change football.
rules.
Baseball
We're just-
changed.
We're just naming rules. The way managers think
way football
have
is played,
changed completely.
It's
and we're not saying
I
that's
agree
necessarily
with-
a great thing
Yeah,
in some areas. Like there's a lot of
MLB is more entertaining. At the end of the day, for people who really care about sports, like, yeah, it would have been cool to see them hit nukes, but at the end of the day, there was since there were only a few guys and a few teams getting their hands on that stuff, it just made like uneven leagues, and that wasn't an enjoyable product.
AL was so much better than the
good home
NL.
run derbies. We had
Right.
cool home run races, but like
we don't have to elaborate on this, but can I throw another random name in there for greatest hitter of all time? Let me get Tony Gwynn.
No, he was good.
Shout out to Tony Gwynn. But
You know
anyway,
what-
continue.
You know what?
I'm
Actually,
actually gonna even though I hate the Red Sox more than anything in the world, Manly Ramirez.
Ted Williams.
Manly,
What is fucking
No, Manly. Two Red Sox, Manny and
Man
Hanley.
Hamley, Manny Ramirez.
Manny Ramirez?
I love Manny so much.
No, honestly, yeah.
Top, because I don't count anyone as a great hitter before 1980. So Manny Ramirez probably top 10 hitter of all time.
Okay,
Babe
can,
Ruth?
can I still get Ted Williams, please?
Dude,
you know what?
He was playing.
Yeah.
Shout out Seth Sabisma.
Roy Gibson?
Seth Sabisma would have been a 12-time All-Star in that.
You know, okay.
How about- can we give him a shout out just because he was amazing?
And I love
Went and
the
served,
Yankees.
went,
Okay, that's
went
what I
served in
say.
World War II,
Okay,
and then
that
came
was
back and
the
did
only
it again.
thing. The only thing with Ted Williams,
He's an animal.
I respect that
this is
so
this is my
much.
only thing for Ted Williams because I like Justin.
motherfuckers could do that
like,
today.
Like Justin before 1980. I don't agree. I don't really care
How
about
many
any
dudes
sport.
today are going to war
Yeah,
and
that's what-
coming
dude,
back?
okay. No, but to add on,
So you know what?
Dude, I just know. But to add on
You're
what
right.
Seth was
We'll
saying,
go
or to add on what Evan was saying, it wasn't just played, went, played. It was triple crown, war for 3
Not
years,
just war.
triple crown.
One of the best pilots in the army.
It is
In the
a beast, dude.
Loving
Hey,
army.
fun fact! I got a fun fact for you about World War II. All right, because you
I
know
was there.
they were drafting all these kids. They were drafting all these kids into war, right? And they had to teach them quick, teach them right, teach them quick to get them ready to go fight those Nazis. So what they did was they modified the
Clooney.
grenade to make it more
baseball.
to make it like a baseball,
grenades
so
are
that they
baseball.
could learn how to
That's
throw it.
amazing.
No, actually,
Because back then, you know, baseball is America's pastime. Back then, every kid could throw a
Yeah,
baseball.
so you know,
Oh, yeah.
you had to
Fun
teach them
fact,
how to throw a
they made
grenade. They just
grenades
knew how to do
baseball.
it.
Fun fact: one of mine and Ethan's recent favorite series, Band of Brothers, one of the greatest shows
I
of all
fucking
time.
love Band of Brothers.
There's a
So good.
There's a
Joe, it's amazing.
there's a part in the show that they said actually did happen in the Brie Corps battle, like the
that whole entire
on
deal
D-Day.
happened.
No, yeah,
It's all from the book. He
of
did
it-
say it was
some of it- yeah.
dramatized.
But no, the one
Dramatized,
there's a
that's
part
the
where
Starts with an E.
Lieutenant Buck Compton took a grenade and
Embellish.
he was a catcher, so obviously you know he's got a cannon. He timed it up so perfectly. He knew exactly when to throw the grenade so that by the time it blew up, it was like on direct impact on a German soldier.
That's how they came
that
up with
crazy?
ATAC grenades.
OG impact.
Dude, imagine,
No, that's what I'm saying.
imagine, like you go
But it's
to
cool
war.
they included it in the
So
show.
Germany, right? Germany, they barely knew what baseball was at that point. Imagine you go to fucking war, dude. You're just running around and you get grenaded
See
by
what you think?
an all-star
coming
catcher.
at you or something.
An all-star catcher guns you fucking
Think
down,
about
dude.
it this way.
You got Yogi. I think Yogi was done at that time. But
I saw someone's tweet. I saw someone.
There, I was like,
I saw someone's tweet the other day. They were like, why? They were like, why couldn't Shohei's grandfather have been in that nuke?
oh, that's so bad. That's so funny.
For real, honest to God, true though, because I still have to argue with brain dead bozos who think Shohei is better than Judge.
Oh my
While
god!
Shohei was pitching and batting, he put up a less WAR than Aaron Judge. A guy
That's
only
crazy,
batting,
actually.
a guy only batting and DHing half the time.
Do they combine WAR for pitching and
Yes,
fielding?
they did. Yes, they did.
All right, so last two times we did wide receivers, we did running backs. Now it's both times since 2015. Now it's time to do quarterbacks.
Touchdown still.
Let's go.
Most passing
Patty
touchdowns. Most passing touchdowns since 2015. All right, Seth already said Patty Mahomes. That's one. He was number 9, by the way.
Tom Brady.
Allen.
Tom Brady, number 5.
Aaron Rodgers.
Josh Allen, number 12. Aaron Rodgers, number 8.
Jalen Hurts. Jared Goff.
Nick Foles.
All right, slow down now, Justin.
Burrow.
You got Jared Goff at
yeah, everybody slow down.
6. Jalen Hurts.
Get him in.
Jalen Hurts not on the list, but I did hear Joe Burrow. He is number 24.
Tim Bobby.
No, not close.
Jameis
Not close.
Winston.
Jameis Winston,
That's a good
number 17. Is
Jesse Palmer.
Carson
that
Palmer.
a real player?
Derek
Carson
Carr.
Palmer.
That's the motherfucker. The
Derek
Bachelor.
Carr. Derek Carr is number 3.
Andrew Luck.
The host of the Bachelor.
Oh, by the way, this
He's the
isn't.
fucking backup
I forgot.
NFL
This isn't
quarterback.
passing touchdowns. By the way, sorry. This is yards. I switched it up. It's not touchdowns
Drew
anymore.
Brees.
Wait, so we're doing yards?
It's yards.
I wouldn't
Okay.
have said Jalen Hurts then, so I still consider myself at 100% guess rate.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, fair enough.
Me too.
All right.
Andrew
What'd
Luck.
you say? No, what'd you say? A
When?
little bit ago, you named somebody.
I don't know.
Oh no, he said Derek Carr.
Oh yeah, you already got that. But
Andrew Luck.
no.
Matt Ryan.
Matt
didn't he-
Ryan is number
2019.
7.
He only played 3 years, but he was the best quarterback in the NFL for 3 years.
Man, he was so
Kirk Cousins.
good.
Oh,
Kirk Cousins, number 1.
Nice.
No, that doesn't surprise me.
His-
Russell Wilson.
Number 4. Still think he's overrated as shit.
Oh,
No, Russell
Geno
Wilson didn't have a
Smith.
good stretch.
No,
Yeah, but I think it was really short.
Babe
And he also posted the worst
4 years.
quarterback rating of a Super Bowl champion of all time. What?
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
We got another comment on our
Did
team.
we say
Nah.
Jared?
We got 2 more
Goff?
comments.
Not on the list.
No.
What'd you say?
Pretty much.
Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. We already said that. Yep. Number 6.
Tony Montana.
Tony Montana.
Joe Montana.
Montana.
Drew Brees? Did he play long
Yes.
enough? Okay.
Drew Brees is number.
I already said Drew Brees.
Oh, you didn't. You said Derek Carr.
I was asking you what you said, and I couldn't hear you, and then you didn't.
I said it's the first person I said.
Yeah, and then I asked you what you said, and you were like,
Tim Bobby or something.
Yeah.
No, we were sitting here.
I'm replying to people's comments on our TikTok.
Alex Smith?
"Good." Alex Smith is not on the list.
Okay.
Some of these are
Oh, Matthew Stafford.
Matt Stafford, number
Oh,
2.
yeah.
You guys have banged out the top 9. You need.
Ryan Greasy.
Oh, nope, not close. A little bit of a different.
Lamar
decade.
Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, number
you go.
22.
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman, not quite.
Okay.
Tua?
Tua, no.
Okay.
Too many Crip signs he's throwing
Oh,
up when he's knocked out.
Grody, but Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson,
No.
no.
Good.
Good, because you got a couple of
Baker?
hand jobs.
Baker is on the list if I can find him. Number 14, Fake.
Dude, why can't I think of the goddamn Chargers?
Jay Cutler.
I'm gonna throw it out there just because.
Herbert on the list.
Oh, yes, Justin
What
Herbert.
about Jay
20.
Cutler?
Hey, Mitch.
Mitch, not on the list.
Dang. I was hoping
outta
he'd be.
here.
I was hoping he'd be like 25. Fitzpatrick?
No.
You didn't look. I'm just kidding.
I just knew off of who I had remembered.
Dalton.
Andy Dalton, number 15.
Nice.
Dak Prescott.
Dak
Yeah, there
Prescott,
you go.
number 10. Top 10 is done.
Got somebody fuck.
You got Drew Brees, too.
Wait, he said Derek Carr too. Derek Carr's not on the
You got Derek Carr, too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Derek Carr's like number 4.
Let's go.
Crap.
I'm not gonna drink this.
I'm not gonna drink.
Crap.
I don't think he will.
This is a little bit tough down the stretch, but I know you know all of them.
Or no, Derek Carr was on the Raiders. I was trying to think Raiders quarterbacks.
I don't even think there's thoughts going on down there.
Dude.
I did not.
I kind of think
hey,
of
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz on the list, number 19.
Oh, Nick Foles.
Carson Wentz.
about-
I'm surprised.
He had like those that
long
those 2
time
years.
Chargers quarterback. Why can't I think of him?
Drew Brees.
I'll let you get it.
Phillip Rivers.
We all know what you just said, so we didn't get it.
I wanted him to like get
All right.
the answer.
After Phillip Rivers, you guys have now hammered out the top 12.
That was for the clip.
Yeah. You got
Phillip
one.
Rivers, dude. Go fucking Chargers.
You guys got
How many kids does
5.
he have?
You guys got
Like
11.
9.
He has a whole football team, dude.
Wait, how many more do we need?
You need.
How many more total? Don't
I
give me the
know.
rankings.
You need 5.
Okay. Do we want to start going through
we got
teams?
Baker Mayfield.
Baker
Already
Mayfield
said.
already said.
Do we want to
We
start
got
going?
it.
On here, yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to start going through teams and divisions and stuff or not yet?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I'm doing it in my head
We know
anyway.
football. We know
Yes,
football.
yes.
I know.
2015.
Mark Sanchez.
I know for sure two of them are still playing.
I just
know.
thought of the butt
Jameis.
right away.
We already said
We
it.
already said them. Two of them are still playing. I'm not going to say anything else.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That was
Nice.
one. No, you didn't.
Nice.
That was one I didn't
Check
know
back-
if you guys
check
would
back on the
get.
tape on that, Ev.
He's actually surprisingly number 13.
Wow.
Check
on the
back on the
list.
tape
Wow,
on that.
when was it? He almost
He
played
retired
till
way.
COVID,
He
didn't
retired way later than everybody thought he was.
That's what he almost
He went on
played
a
till
while.
COVID.
I don't mean to go on too much of a tangent, but this is one of the biggest things I've criticized the Steelers for ever since he retired is that they had all the time in the
QB
world. Yeah. Them and the Saints. They had all the time in the world to prepare for their quarterbacks retiring, and they did nothing.
Yeah.
All right, you need number 18, 21, 23, and 25. 4 players left.
Oh, wait. Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, number
Nice.
23.
Wow.
I
Over Jalen Hurts. That surprises me.
Been in the league
Shit,
longer.
yeah.
You got 3 left, and 1 is still in the league.
Who's that?
was Carson Palmer still playing long enough, or did he retire in 15?
Fabe said Carson Palmer already. What?
Titans quarterback.
Oh, Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
Got it.
I should have let you get that too.
No, you're good. I was trying to fucking sneak it out there.
You guys got 2 left. 1 is still in the league.
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton,
I did not have faith in that at all.
number 25. Last one on the list. All right, you guys got one more person. He's the
That was
21st
just-
person.
When he said touchdowns, the first person I thought it was Cam Newton. But then like he said yards, and I was like, no way, Cam Newton's top 25 passing yards.
Yeah, no, he was barely squeaked in there 2015 or at 25.
We're missing one.
But
Yeah.
yes.
Ranked 21.
Cam Newton definitely snuck in there because his prime was like 2015.
Well, his rookie season was 4,000
Oh,
yards.
I know
Total.
the last guy. I know the last guy.
What was it?
Colt legend, Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
Oh my gosh, nice. That was a good
Completely
round.
forgot about fucking Flacco.
We
dude.
compared to the running backs and
He's got
wide
that
receivers
way
one, we flew
faster.
through those.
Yeah, it's definitely a smaller group. I should have, but I had to stick with the trend of going
No, passing yards
since
kind of mixed it up a little
2015.
bit.
Yeah, honestly, that kind of impressed me a little bit. I thought that one would stump you with Joe Flacco. I thought
Joe
Cam Newton
Flacco
was
hit me
strong.
because the Colts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought
was
that.
there, like I started thinking because the Colts have had their revolving door
Yeah.
QBs. I started thinking through it, and then I was about to say Matt Ryan. Remembered someone said that, and I was like Flacco.
I was gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I would say I thought that Flacco, Cam Newton, and I honestly was not ready for Justin to say Ben Roethlisberger.
No, Cam.
was
No,
not
you
gonna
you
get
catch
Ben
off.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, he was around. He was around.
I knew he was around.
Feels like he's been retired for a long time.
No, because I've always shit on the Steelers because Ben Roethlisberger. Ethan's right. He delayed his retirement. Like there were 3 years.
Yeah.
Like there was a chance he retired,
It-
and the Steelers still did nothing about it.
It's like when they busted out the retirement tour
Kenny
for
Pick-
Dirk. Like they said they were gonna bust out the retirement tour for Dirk, and he hadn't even actually said if he was retiring yet or not. Like, nah, you're out of here.
I guess this is my tour.
I'm done, guys.
All right,
All right, what do we got next, kids?
we got. You guys want to do?
Travis and Shador?
Oh yeah, that's right. So we go to that. Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right, I got my opinions on that. So Travis Hunter and Shador Sanders are both getting their numbers retired at Colorado this spring game, which is either this weekend or next weekend. So they're getting their numbers retired. Their season just ended in early January, late December, whatever it was.
Lost their bowl game.
Lost their bowl game. They had a 13-12 record together at Colorado. That is just really bad. I don't understand. So Travis Hunter, I get. All right, he won a Heisman. Those don't come around. There's 100 and now there's what, like 140 something FBS programs. Odds your guy gets a Heisman so low. I get it. Heisman makes sense, but Shador, is that not just nepotism?
No, it 100% is.
What is going on?
That was
Like,
that was bought. That was
a
bought.
guy,
Mind.
a guy who and you know what their argument was? Their argument with the AD was, oh well, they came in and just changed the whole dynamic of this program. What?
No, and
it's
I
not.
mean, have they
that's not
not?
true.
No, there
That's
are-
not
Have they
true.
not?
That-
not really.
That's not retirement.
But why did they change? Did they change the whole trajectory, or did they just go back to when Colorado was good? 1990,
No, yeah. I was gonna say I've seen a lot.
They have one of the best Big 12 QBs ever.
Yeah,
I don't remember his fucking name, but I saw him on Twitter today.
he's not retired.
He's like number 3. He's number 3 in Big 12 passing yards.
No, I was gonna say there have been a lot of people in
There's
the
like Colorado football history. Yeah,
Yeah.
like they took him, but also what I think. Also, they're good at football. Don't get me fucking wrong. I'm not hating, but their jerseys should be nowhere near retired. That team also just got way better because Deion Sanders is the head coach.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Deion should just already be retired.
even
Deion
Sanders should be in the Hall of Fame in Colorado.
even if you
More on Dion.
even if you believe that they rightfully deserve it, even if you believe they rightfully deserve
Is
it,
there an echo in here?
Let's retire Deion Sanders.
even if you believe that they rightfully deserve it,
Fabius just finally realized his opinions are horrible, so he's agreeing with us.
What are you I've been doing the same thing the last 13 episodes. I just repeat some shit at some point. You're lying to me. I don't believe it.
What are you saying, Evan?
even if you believe they rightfully deserve it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think it shows that they don't even believe at least Shador deserves it, because if they deserved it, then that's something you would do even
Wait,
at least
wait.
a few years down the road once they've kind of made names for themselves in the NFL and everything too. But because they're doing it so quickly, they know that Shador's the likelihood that Shador actually continues this legacy and hype and everything is very
Close
slim
to none.
It's slim to none. So they need to do it now while it makes even the most.
I don't even care about
Honestly,
that.
it's just like
It's like, hey, holy shit. Our QB is the son of Deion Sanders,
way-
and he finished 8th in
By the
Heisman
way,
voting.
let me
I'm not
point
done
this-
yet.
Sorry.
I said, holy shit. This is what they're saying. Holy shit. We had a QB who's the son of Deion Sanders, and he finished 8th in Heisman voting? All in on that one. We got to fucking send him in there. Like, what mindset is that? And a quarterback who 13-12. That is embarrassing. Like, that
I'm
is
literally just
bad.
adding in one thing. They also 0 retired numbers at Colorado.
Yeah, and
These are the first two.
No way.
These are the first two.
Didn't know that.
These are the first two.
Oh, that's a joke.
might be
Dude, you know how much that undermines like past
an absolute
Colorado
embarrassment.
players
Colorado
that have had
has one of
so
the
much better
best
careers
college
than.
defensive backs of all
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
bad.
It just
No, yeah.
completely
That's so
undermines
bad.
their history
I don't
and
know. I saw this all on
everything
Twitter today.
up to this point.
He won
Like,
the 1990 national champion. He was the defensive player of the year. He won he swept all awards. And he was a 3-time first team All-American.
Speaking about Colorado, they actually had a great running back, Chris Brown, that John Alder trained.
I remember his jersey in the gym.
yeah.
For the
Yeah.
Heisman.
I remember his jersey in the
And
gym.
He was one of the top 5 votings, I believe, prior to, I don't know if he fucking blew his knee out or whatever happened, but it ended up cutting his season just a little bit short, and he was like close to being like 2,200 yards or something like that. So look up Chris Brown, Colorado Boulders.
See, there's legends there.
No, yeah,
like
no,
that's
exactly
the
right.
worst part about it. Like they have so many legends, and we're choosing Shadur Sanders, a guy whose peak was second team All Big 12.
Yeah, proud Colorado fans have been in
Okay.
the comment section saying like, you guys realize like we actually used to be pretty good like back then.
Very
Like obviously it's
good.
been a while, but like
Colorado
like,
was
we're-
a dynasty in the 80s.
if
And they finally won it in the 90s.
honestly,
They were a
you know what-
dynasty. They won almost every
call
Big 12
me
championship.
crazy. You want to know
Big
what
12 dynasty.
You know
Okay,
what
I'm
would have
sorry.
made way more
Big
sense?
12
I was thinking
and-
national title
and
dynasty.
capping it off with a natty.
You guys know what
Yeah,
would have made
I know. I just think dynasty. I think like 3
Chris
titles.
Brown was actually just inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2021.
Legend.
retire his jersey.
He
Hey,
hasn't had his jersey
I'll look
retired.
up the
They should have
DB.
retired his
All
jersey
right.
the minute Chris Brown
All right,
hit Rihanna.
so
Hop on the
class of
train.
I have this thought, right?
If hashtags were
I
a
have
thing
this
back
thought.
then, they all definitely would have.
I have this thought, all right? Do you guys remember when Deion first got there, their AD said literally straight up, we don't have enough money to pay him, but the money will come. My theory is the money hasn't come. And they need something to sweeten the pot.
okay.
So they toss Shadur in there to sweeten the pot a little bit. All right. They
like that.
I'm not gonna do what I'm gonna do. But they sweeten the pot a little bit. No, I was gonna do a little. And
That's gay.
so yeah, they got that shit ready for Dion, and they need something to keep him there because Dion, you know, he said what he's worth. Like that's what he's always been all about how he's worth, and they can't pay him. The AD straight up said they can't pay him. They need something to sweeten the pot.
Yeah.
So they tossed Shadur, and you know what I've been thinking about too. You guys think Shiloh gets tossed in there?
my God.
Shiloh.
No.
No, you know how fun. I know.
Also,
I don't
one
actually
thing,
think that'd be
I
so
just looked
fucking
up-
funny.
I just looked up the Colorado national championship team. They had a linebacker who won the Dick Butkus Award back-to-back years.
Damn.
And a 4-time All-American.
Who was
That's a retirement guy. That's a retirement guy right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Because holy fuck, like especially
The
for
fact that he was only there 2 goddamn seasons.
Alfred Williams.
Come on.
especially for a linebacker, because linebackers, you know,
Alfred Williams.
I don't care what you do as a DB or defensive player, you're not going to win the Heisman. So you already had that against him. But the fact that you won
Charles Woodson.
the most valuable
I know
player,
he played offense.
He played
know
offense.
he played offense,
All right,
too.
you know
I know
what? We're gonna side note real
I
fucking
know he
quick.
played offense,
No,
too.
because I used to beef with people so
gotta
hard
pee again.
about if Patrick Peterson or Tyrann Mathieu was better than Charles Woodson in college. They were so much better than Charles Woodson in college. Charles Woodson just played offense.
Just the fact
And they're always like, he won a Heisman. Yeah, because he you can't say a defensive player has won the Heisman before because he played offense. A defensive player has still never won the Heisman because Charles Woodson played offense.
And honestly, I still like especially if you're comparing two players who played 10, 15, 20 years apart. I can't remember what year it was. No, I think
Charles
it was
Woodson played in like the 90s.
I think it was like 15 years. But you can't use just he won the Heisman
It was
as
like 20
as-
years.
Yeah.
For Charles Woodson to Patrick P?
Yeah,
20 years.
All right, so 20 years. You can't use just he won the Heisman as like even
That's the whole argument.
Even if it was purely just like even if he miraculously won it for just playing defense, I still don't think you can use that just because it's like it's 20 years apart. Like it was that given season and everything. You know, like a bunch of other stuff. But no. One other thing I was gonna say really quick before I forget. You know what would have made way more sense for retiring jerseys? If Jacksonville State would have retired their jerseys. Because they actually put them on the map.
Yeah, that one makes way more sense. By far the
Although
best.
Jacksonville
baseball fan.
State,
I was about to say
greatest
Jackson-
college band of all time.
Jacksonville State was already on the map beforehand. It was
Not
just
on the map. They were on the
No.
HBCU map. They were the best.
Yeah.
The national
Not the national
yes.
map. Like they had
Yes,
they had games televised.
They had
That's
history.
unheard of.
I don't
I
mean
think
for that
they
to
had
sound.
a couple of wins though.
No,
at that time.
no, you're right. Jackson. No, Jackson State. That they picked Jackson State because there was already a decent history,
Well,
and they were just down in the
Yes,
dump.
and I'm not even saying like even if they would have retired their jerseys, I still would have been like, you were only there for a year. But I'm saying that would have at least
It would have
made
made
more
more sense than
And
all
I'm
them
not
doing
saying
is-
that to like having like throw any shade at
against
Jackson
the
State.
black community.
I am. No, I am.
Actually, hey, fun
Retire
fact,
more
fun
white
fact,
players
Fun
numbers.
fact about
just kidding, I'm just-
HBCUs are at their lowest rate of black men of all time.
So a lot of white
yeah,
people.
Isn't that
make
crazy?
it.
That's what
Isn't that
happens.
crazy?
You want to know why? The damn snow bunnies got it snowing in the Hamptons.
Nico. All right, we're going back to Tennessee. Nico, his last name, don't know how to say it, but I'm going to say it how I see it. Iamaleava, because
That is how it's spelled.
he was getting paid $2.4 million to play quarterback at University of Tennessee. Fun fact, his agent is also his father. So
Because that
he's-
always goes well.
He's demanding more money. He was demanding more money at Tennessee. All right. And so he was there for spring ball. Demanding more money. Just didn't show up Friday before the spring game. All right. Just didn't show up. And then they couldn't figure out what was going on. Saturday
was a good reason.
doesn't show up. Well, it's definitely because of the money. But so Saturday he just doesn't show up for the spring game again. And then so the team, smart as fuck, the coach is just like, no, he's gone. We're parting ways with Nico Iamaleava. All right. So he's gone. So Nico enters the transfer portal like the next day or 2 days later. And he was making $2.4 million a year. He's demanding more. Right now, nobody wants him. His top 3 teams the other day were UCLA, second team, Tulane.
Hold on. What? Have you not heard?
No disrespect to Tulane.
Tulane.
I'm just running the story right now. What?
Won't you shake
Wait,
your ass?
so you're not done with the story
Not
yet?
exactly.
No, did he sign?
Tennessee
Yes.
With who?
Balls.
He signed with UCLA.
All right. Okay. So that was the number one. All right. There we go. We'll get there. All right. So he was going through the transfer portal process. Nobody wanted him. And it literally became a thing where like everyone was talking about how teams are just waiting for him to drop in his value because they don't want to pay him $2.4 million fucking dollars.
That's what he was.
That's what he was getting, but he wanted like 3.5.
Okay.
And nobody wanted it. Like literally Tulane ended up being number 2 at one point because nobody wanted to pay him that. And then Evan, what did he end up signing with UCLA for?
I'm not sure. I can look at. Do you want to look it up?
I'll look it up.
Talk about betting on yourself.
His dad ran all these too, and
losing.
apparently his dad burned a lot of bridges while he did it.
No, that's the thing,
yeah.
dude. Like you have to separate that. Like the only time I say like that because that always works out. The only time it's really worked out is
my
Deion
God.
Sanders.
Wait, hold on,
I
I got
can
it.
think of
I got it.
examples where
I got it.
I can't, but there are definitely
The only thing
examples where it does work.
The only thing I
out.
think of is Deion, and it's just because it's Deion.
I guess it's just there's not that many cases in general because most
Yeah.
people do just go to an outside source or third party.
Yeah.
So it's not confirmed. All right, but Nico Iamaleava was making $2.4 million. It was confirmed he was actually asking for 4.
Oh my!
Nobody wants him. Ends up going to UCLA. Asking for 4. Was making 2.4. Is getting $1 million.
Good. And
That's it's
Eat
not
that
confirmed,
slice
but
of
that's what
fucking
it's.
Humble pie.
That's
dude.
fucking
Holy
crazy, dude.
Shit.
Oh, that's so bad.
And I'm sorry, but deserve it.
Deserve it.
I
And-
mean, it's
this is probably
the fact you're making money in general. Where does the entitlement come from?
I don't, and he hasn't done shit.
I mean, he
You didn't just win the
he helped him get to the playoffs and everything, but that was expanded playoffs, and I think they lost first round.
Did Tennessee make it?
They made it.
I can't remember. I didn't watch the first
Pretty
round.
sure they made
Well,
it.
that's the thing. We got to take this from the outsider's perspective when we think about it. Because, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, none of those players were making that much money. Like when I played ball, it was $17.87 a month that they would give us, and that was at Toledo,
And some food vouchers.
I think that's normal.
right? And it was
Everyone in D1 has to make the
So,
same.
but at Alabama, I had some friends over there, and they were making just a little bit more.
Because they were getting under the table.
But they were getting that.
Don't say that to Saban.
Yeah, don't say
It's
that.
literally
Don't bring
true.
that up around
Saban's such an
Saban.
idiot.
Don't bring that around.
I don't want to call him an idiot, but he's oblivious.
But we have to think about how much
Indiana.
money that these programs are actually bringing in over time and how much money that they've brought in. So to ask for $2.4 million isn't a lot.
No, that's what he was getting.
I know. Okay, so he's asking for 4. That's not a lot.
That's a lot.
No, in the sense of college football.
Okay.
How much did? All right, I'll ask you this.
No.
How much did the college football program of the Tennessee Vols bring in last year? And then we can depict it from that on how much they made.
Dog. All right. I get that. I agree. Players should get paid what they're deserved, but he didn't deserve shit. All right. He never earned it. He didn't do anything special. This guy came in and he said, "This is how much I want." They gave him a shit ton. And I think a part of it is I want college football to have loyalty again. I really do.
That's not going to happen.
I know,
And
I know it's not, but he came in asking for this and they still bent over and did it. They gave him 2.4 and then he's asking for 4. And then his dad, that's also what really bothers me. His dad is his agent. And his dad is going in there talking all this shit and trying to get 4 when he hasn't done shit to earn it. Nico did not do shit to earn 4 because you know what? Nobody else is fucking making that, and they're still starting and doing way better than he is. And that's what I'm saying. He's not getting what and there's other programs that make more than Tennessee, and they're still not getting that. So he's not. So I know for a fact he hasn't earned that much money.
But also, wait. So I don't think you can just look at it like, oh, we brought in this much money, so I should get this much. Is it not still like? Football pays for a lot of other stuff.
Football plays
not
for,
football related.
There's only like 5 total schools where football doesn't pay for every other sport.
Okay, I'll say this. So for you, and this may be a little off track, you're the marketing program at your job, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So your job essentially pays a lot of guys in the sense of once you put out a good product, they're going to benefit from it over time.
Yeah.
The salesmen, the salespeople, the what do they call them? The
Sales managers.
sales managers, all those guys are going to benefit from that over time. So like you said, the football team's paying for a lot of that. It's a lot different actually. But what I'm saying is that the football team is bringing in, I think it's at $149 million in revenue at the Tennessee Vols football program. Why in the heck would I care about if the volleyball players are getting paid, if the basketball players are getting paid? It doesn't matter what, we do that for them. Yeah, that's charity case. Fact of the matter is that he's bringing in money. And then on top of it, didn't we say that he was a playoff quarterback?
Well,
But he doesn't deserve it.
Well, see,
He
hold on.
hasn't
It doesn't
earned it.
matter if
No,
he deserves it. It's the fact that he was there. It's the fact
he
that
doesn't
he had the
deserve 4.
Hold on.
It's the fact that he had the position. We could talk about Mark Sanchez when he had that 2 for $40 million contract in the NFL.
Okay.
He didn't deserve a goddamn.
Oh no,
thing.
that's just the Jets being bad. And everybody else agreed with that.
You're right, but here's what I think.
Tennessee was smart and they didn't give it to him.
I would like to know the context of what went into his original agreement for the 2.3.
He
or
straight
5.
up said he was the number 1 quarterback prospect going into, so his first year was 2023. He was the number 1 quarterback prospect. He said, I want money. He prioritized money, and that's why he got 2.3 million.
Okay, and
He literally told all the schools, I'm going whoever gives me the most money.
and that's fine. And that's fine. But no, I'm saying when
2 years later.
when he and Tennessee are talking, and
He's sorry, I got more. I'll go next.
when he and Tennessee are talking, and he says, I want this much money, then I would, if Tennessee was smart in the negotiation process, they should say, okay, then when you come in here, our expectation for you is to bring us to the playoffs. If he takes them to the playoffs, then he's living up to 2.3. If you would have won the national championship and gone above that, then sure, heck, demand $5 million. You probably would have gotten it. But if all you're doing is living up to the original agreement, then I don't see why you should be asking for more if all you're doing is living up to what you were agreed to.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think the original statement that I brought from that was that the original agreement, and we don't know exactly what was said.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's the tough part.
He's quoted word for word. Saying,
No, I'm saying like as far as like what Tennessee, what expectations had set for him. And, like,
Tennessee. I mean, you could read in the fucking headlines we committed too. They said we're going to win we're expecting to win a national championship
within the first
Nico.
couple of years.
So and especially now with and that's the thing too, with maybe if they didn't expect in the first couple of years, you don't get more until you earn more. All right. He's been there for 2 years now. He's not done anything that exceeded expectations, and he still wants more.
Well, we don't know
Doesn't
if
make
he
any
hasn't
sense.
exceeded
And you know what? No, actually, I'll tell you he hasn't exceeded expectations for sure because he was in his second year. He wasn't even a top 40 quarterback nationally. That's kind of fucking crazy.
No, I was gonna say I'm like
Not even a top 40 quarterback.
Stats wise or production wise, because
That's how it's based.
when you-
Production.
Because when you look at production, he brought them to the
No, college
playoffs.
production. And also I won't even agree with that because this Tennessee team, top to bottom, is the best Tennessee team we've seen in forever.
And is he a part of that team?
yes, but
Yes, which means his
sense.
production can be lower.
But
Which
is
means
he-
his production can be lower.
But is
The
he
only
like?
thing they're producing is being better than they were the last year.
But
It doesn't
we're saying
matter.
like, is he like Johnny
It's his
Manziel, like going
standard.
out there and just doing like?
Okay,
like
what
not that Johnny Manziel was doing it all by himself. Like he obviously had.
what the fuck
Didn't he have
did
Mike
Johnny
Evans?
Manziel do?
Yeah.
He beat Bama. That's what he did. He beat
No,
Bama.
that's what I'm saying, like, go-
but I'm saying
and, like, you-
outside of that, he didn't do a fucking thing outside of beating Bama.
But I'm saying like and that's
no,
a
he
bad
did a
example.
lot. He won a fucking Heisman.
But I'm saying like going out there.
won a Heisman, didn't win a championship.
But no,
If that's what they're doing.
Hold on. I got this. What we're saying is when Johnny Manziel went out there and was winning games, you knew Texas A&M was winning games because of Johnny Manziel. Tennessee, when they're going out and winning games, it's like Ethan said, it's because they just have a great all-around team.
So you're telling me you put Shador Sanders on that team?
On Tennessee,
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they might do better.
I honestly don't.
maybe.
I'm in the camp that Shador was a great quarterback.
I will honestly admit I can't answer that.
what's
That's
that?
that's.
I
for-
think
that's
he
for
was.
him or
I
Dustin.
think he was a great quarterback.
So he's a top. What is it? Top 16 team. Top 12.
Top 12.
top 12.
Top 12 team. He's got a top 12 team, and you put Shador Sanders on that team, and then they're guaranteed to be a top 12 team, is what you're saying.
I think they still are with Shador.
Honestly, maybe just because like even though
What Shador did, that team,
Even
that
after
Colorado team was
everything you
not
just said
good.
about it.
How much is Shador getting paid? Then we ask that question.
Honestly, I think
less.
I think purely just because it doesn't seem like Shador is that like it seems like Shador's mind is still set on football enough, whereas it seems like Iamaleava is literally just he plays football because it gets him money, whereas it still seems like
And
Shador
he
is
literally said that.
yeah.
Word for word, he said that.
I mean, that's the
Well,
thing.
okay, let's be honest though. How many motherfuckers don't say it, but are definitely doing it for that reason? I mean, I think he's
yes.
real for
It's the
saying
best,
that.
Yes, but I'm saying like you can also tell when like a player is playing the game because they love it as well. Like yeah, Shador's like loves the money.
I
and
would
everything.
rather have that for
can't-
sure.
yeah,
but I
exactly,
wouldn't say
yeah.
that
And
means
that's-
because he's doing it for money, he's not playing hard as hell too.
No.
I mean,
but I'm saying like I think, and like I said, I don't know enough to make that decision. But like if I had to choose the two, I think I would lean Shador just because it seems
I
like
can't-
he has a little bit more love and respect.
I
for the
agree.
game.
I
I just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
I know you're that's
So
that's a
Shador,
good argument.
Shador Sanders was at 3.8 million, which I'm fine with because Shador was
Damn.
already established. He was
See,
established.
so Nico's seeing that, he's like, man.
but that's the thing. What
It is, dude.
Would
so
Nico
think
have
about-
put Jackson State on the map? the way
Shador
that
did, and I'm fine with
I'm
it
not thinking
because
about
Shador
Jackson
did
State
way
and what he would've
Shador
done
did
for
way better.
FCS fucking.
Shador did way better than Nico did. Shador did way better than Nico did. He was a fucking Heisman fucking candidate.
Wait, so
We're talking about if they said we originally talked about this in the sense of like, oh
Yeah, we did talk about it, but I
sense
am
of
more
a championship.
I am more along the lines of that and stats, and that's why I also brought up Nico wasn't even top 40 quarterbacks. Wasn't even top 40.
and that's fine, but it's about production because you look at a lot of these guys.
That's what I'm saying. No production, not top 40.
The production was that he's a top fucking 12 team, and if it doesn't matter what the fucker does. Like we were talking
So-
about this earlier in the year. Sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good.
But we talked about Jalen Hurts. We were like, well, we don't think he's going to be able to finish because he's not one of those quarterbacks.
Dog. Listen,
we ended up
listen,
being
listen.
wrong.
to-
Wait on the
ended up
stats.
being wrong.
It's
Wait on-
bad,
wrong
dude.
on
It
that.
was ass.
Wait on the stats. It doesn't matter what the fuck. So this is what I appreciate about you, Ethan. is that the numbers do talk a lot.
They do.
I do like a 4,000-yard quarterback with this many touchdowns and this many interceptions to this many rushing yards and so on and so forth. That's fucking great. But if we're not winning games and if we're not in the top 8 or if we're not in the top 12, what the fuck does that do for us in the national championship stage?
Okay, but
so therefore, if I have a
it's different.
What was Colorado's record last
year? I think you're 10-3, something like that.
Maybe. Yeah. No, I think their first year was like bad.
No, their first year. Oh, this season that just happened.
Yeah. What was this last year?
Like 10-3, I think.
Yeah.
10-3, right? And they didn't.
It's probably somewhere around there.
Can you look that up
I know they had a losing record their first year, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
No, yeah, they won like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think like year 2 was probably like it was somewhere around there of being actually
solid. So when
solid.
you're not beating those high tier teams when he's in the SEC, which does play a big part into it, it's the fact of the matter is that it doesn't fucking matter. So yes, do I want a couple extra
9-4.
So they went 9-4
this past year.
And then
Yeah.
the year before that, 4-8.
10-3, 9-4.
Oh yeah,
How many
Year
ranked teams
before
did
that,
they play?
1-11.
I think
They weren't
he's
there
just looking
then.
at their record.
They weren't there then.
How many ranked teams did they play? Does it show you that? How many
My
top tier teams?
thing. Okay, so I know what you're talking
strength
about,
of
like with
schedule
being the
this year
quarterback
was
on the
at
team.
8.6.
Fabe, in college, that doesn't fucking matter.
8.98.
That really doesn't matter. Fabe, think about how many national championship teams you have seen, and that quarterback does bigger and better things. Not many. Can you name Greg McElroy, 2-time fucking national champion with Alabama, did nothing. Tim Tebow did nothing in the NFL. AJ McCarron did nothing in the
Tim Tebow won a playoff game. Put some respect on his name.
Mac Jones, garbage in the NFL. Like, that's what college football doesn't matter about. Like college football is one of those places where you could plug in another quarterback and they'll do just as good because how good your team is matters more. The NFL is more a place where your quarterback can get you over that hump. And that's why I don't care about that argument of whatever. And also, and then I'm going to read the stats now for Nico.
And also,
Nico,
off of this.
Nico, 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns. That is dog shit.
Very
in college
unimpressive.
football. Dog shit.
Unimpressive.
He was
if
there.
you're wanting
He
4
was
million.
there.
Come on.
He was there.
That is considered abysmal, but you are in the best conference.
Still
in
not
the
impressive.
college-
Still not impressive.
Wait,
For making $4 million.
I was trying to
for
stay with
making
you,
$4 million.
Fabe, but yeah,
Wait, and
no,
on top of
he's
that-
outrageous for trying to ask for that.
But then on top of that, you're in the best conference and you're in a completely different league. There are people that are leaving school like in 2012 you couldn't transfer like that. Stop thinking about 2012 quarterbacks. Stop thinking about
I'm going to talk about him
Stop
again.
Thinking about 2019 quarterbacks.
All right, hey, you want to hear
You want to hear your playoff.
You want to hear your playoff.
God dang mind.
You want to hear
It's before 20.
You want to hear it's Nico. You want to hear your playoff quarterback 14 for 31, 104 yards in the playoff game.
Wait, can I?
That is so bad.
Can I throw a question out there?
And that team was good.
And what team did he play against?
Ohio State.
So he played against who?
The
National-
Natties. The Natties. Sorry.
The
Also,
national champion.
But if you want to get paid $4 million, you should be able to beat the national champion.
or perform against them.
Wait,
At least,
How did Shadur play against the top tier team?
Okay,
Who's the top tier team?
Okay,
that he played against?
that's besides. That was a hypothetical.
Well, that was one of an argument that we said.
and
because
that-
he got paid
well, I went with
2.8,
it
that's
too,
what we were
was-
talking about. So you're going to tell me somebody
No, but
that played against-
Nico's doing that with a
Please,
way
it's
better team.
It's the same argument with Alshon Jenti and the other big running backs throughout the country. They're playing against a lot of big. He couldn't
Oh, my
do it
God.
against Ohio State.
Dog.
He couldn't do it against Florida.
Shadur's stats are just way better, top to bottom.
Because he's playing against who? Fucking nobody's.
He's
He
still
hasn't-
putting-
Name anybody that Shadur has played against.
Shadur Sanders,
Running Rebels.
top team. BYU was a great team this year. Great team this year.
When was the last time
200 yards.
BYU did anything?
No, they were fucking great this year. They were.
BYU got beat by Toledo
No,
last
they were.
year.
They were a playoff.
Are you serious?
Last year, they were a playoff snub. They were a playoff snub team. No, they were a playoff snub team.
What would have happened to BYU if they went to the fucking playoffs?
Shadur Sanders threw for 388 against fucking Kansas State. That is also another fucking top 25 team. Nico goes out there against good teams and he throws 100 yards. That means nothing.
It's the best.
That means nothing. That means nothing.
It's the best.
This was also a down year for the SEC.
No, but Shadur isn't a good fucking example because it's him and
With an awful team. With an awful team.
Hold on.
Nobody's
Yeah, with
obviously
the-
getting paid
with
that
the
much money
Heisman
because of
Award
his
winner on his team,
name.
it's an
Look
award.
Yeah.
at any
I
other
agree with that.
SEC quarterback.
Heisman
Replace
Award winner-
Nico with any other SEC quarterback. Is Tennessee as good or better?
Tennessee with
If you put Jalen Milroe on Tennessee,
Tennessee might win a natty.
I don't think so.
Yes.
You're
Oh my God. Yes.
hold on, wait, hold on. Like yes, Nico is playing against SEC competition, but if you're gonna want $4 million, you have to beat and overcome all the the SEC competition and college football playoff teams like Ohio State and everything, and he didn't.
If I had Derrick Henry at Boise State, and I had Alshon Jeanty at
Ashton.
Ashton.
Ashton Jeanty.
Ashton Jeanty. Fucking same fucking name.
Come on,
Fix
Derek.
it.
Right now, like Derek. Right now.
No. In college.
Oh, in college.
In college. Both college running backs. If I had Ashton and then I had Derek, and I swapped their places, and we had this same argument, just for sake, would you be like, well, Derek can't take the contact of the SEC?
I don't know because
That's
I never
different.
said that about Ashton.
That's different because they're two completely different types of running backs, in my opinion. And honestly,
You know what? I think Ashton would do better.
Actually, it's funny because when I stupidly said when Derrick Henry was coming to the NFL, I didn't think that he was going to be anywhere near what he ended up becoming because I thought he was too I didn't think he was shifty enough and everything. I thought
Right.
yeah, exactly. But boy, was I I'm an idiot for that.
Then
But no,
we could
Fabe.
do Josh Jacobs, and then we
Fabe.
could do Ashton Jeanty.
Fabe. All right. Here's what I'm saying. Even Josh Jacobs as well. Flip flop them. Ashton Jeanty would do not as well because he's in a tougher conference, I would say. But I will say that. God, I'm sorry. I lost my track because I can't think of the words to put it in. Ashton Jeanty, him in the Mountain West, him with Boise State, he did something special, he did something great. And I think if you flip-flop them, Ashton Jeanty stats, yeah, they definitely wouldn't look as great because it's a tougher conference for sure. I do still think that how I valued them as a prospect would look the same because Ashton Jeanty, when I'm looking at Ashton Jeanty is his stats more so than anything. I do think he looks great physically, but I did value Derrick Henry way higher than I value Ashton Jeanty. And it's mostly because look at the metrics. Who's built for big man fucking football?
that's the thing.
built for big man
That's why
fucking
they're not
football?
comparables because Derrick Henry, even if he was at Boise
that's why I
State, he's
switched it down to Josh Jacobs.
it's just his size. Yeah.
That's why I just switched
A little
it
bit of
down
a
because they're about
unicorn
equal
at
with
running
the 5'8",
back.
5'9" at 210 to 215.
I don't think Josh Jacobs would have done as good.
I didn't watch. I feel like I didn't
Or
watch.
done as good as Ashton Jeanty's season, is what I mean. Because Ashton Jeanty, he, you know how his tackles were. The tackles are weaker when you're at that level, and Ashton Jeanty was able to absorb it and still make a move that you don't normally see at the higher level because you're a grown man amongst men. I think Josh Jacobs wasn't, like you kind of said, shifty. He just wasn't moving as well. His hips weren't as good as Ashton Jeanty, so I think he wouldn't have had as a productive season. But I still prospect-wise, when I look at prospects, and I don't look at prospects really, especially this upcoming draft. I don't, because I look at the top 10. I don't care about anything else because more often than not, 18 of the 32 first-round picks don't work out. I look at guys who, when I see them, I'm like, could he survive in the NFL? Could he physically survive? Number one. Two, does he have the talent? And then there you go. But physically surviving to me is the biggest point. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree.
And you don't think Jeanty can?
Not that I don't think he will, but I think he's a little bit, just a little bit. I still think he's going to be good. Just a little bit overhyped. Just I see some people.
He's not worth a top 10
Yeah,
pick.
some people
No.
saying he's going to
No, I
go
don't think he's worth a top
6.
10 pick
That's
for
fucking
sure.
crazy.
No.
That's Pete Carroll and the Raiders for you. But can I before we wrap up? There's a question I've been wanting to ask ever since we started this topic. So I know I've mentioned that there needs to be a salary cap. Whatever you say, no way it's going to happen.
college?
That's
Impossible.
fine.
Impossible.
Do you think better do you think it'd be much more plausible and easier to implement this if instead of salary cap and everything, because that's complicated, they at least said, okay, if you're going to sign an NIL deal, it has to be for either 2 or 4 years. You can negotiate, whichever one. do you think they could at least easily say, okay, like everything can remain the same, but you're signing a contract?
Yeah, I think that's easier.
Because that's a good like. Because you can still obviously then negotiate, like, okay, if I'm signing this contract, then I want to make sure I'm getting paid this much more money if I'm going to be here this long. And that way you get back what fans want, the loyalty.
I think
loyalty, you're
saying
at least similar, like same player on same
saying they have to be locked up for a certain amount of years, I think that makes it infinitely better. Also because I think there's a lot of guys, like, I mean, we don't hear about them because their names aren't in the headlines as much, but there is a lot of guys who are leaving for worse situations. A lot, but like almost I'd say 50% of them are leaving for worse situations.
Going back to Nick Saban,
and they just don't know it.
Like yes, we can say Nick Saban is like a hypocrite or whatever, but at the same time, not necessarily, because was he sliding cash under the table and everything, and other coaches do it.
Says he didn't, but he did.
Yeah, and yeah, he probably did, but but when that was happening, there was an understanding that if he was doing that, that player was going to be there with him for 3 to 4 years. And most of the time they were. Yeah, obviously some people would transfer out, but he wasn't having to slide money under the table like they have, or like they are giving out.
They are now.
Yeah, like it's like you didn't have to hire a general manager to do this stuff.
I believe that.
And is it like are like
You go.
people getting a little trigger happy with like all this new money and stuff? Is that what's going on? Because like you said, it seems like anybody asking for more, their next choice or wherever they go is less.
Yeah.
They're not.
Is it that, or are teams like
still,
misleading players?
There's still the guys going up, but they're just not, like, that's what I mean too. Like when I say there's more players than you expect putting themselves in bad situations. Yes, they might be leaving for money, but you're going up to a team that you might not even just play in. Like, yeah, they gave you the money, you're not even going to play, and that's one of the biggest things to me is, yeah, you're making the short term money, and I know like $1 million is not short term money. Like, I mean, but for how you expect them or how they expect to make their money is by playing football. That's not a smart idea. Taking $1 million going to a higher school might not be the smartest idea. Like, look at I think about like Khalil Mack, a guy at Buffalo who just grinded his ass off, beat the shit out of people, decided he could get better, and did infinitely fucking better his last year at Buffalo. Guys like that, where if they have that great year, they might just go, to Ohio State, and then they just have a solid year. Mm-hmm. Versus staying at Buffalo in a situation that's good for you because you're used to it, you like your coaches, yada, yada, and just
then he was
balling the fuck out.
Then he's a first-round pick.
You know what I mean?
So I will say this, like, when money talks, money moves. And when I say money moves,
give it like 3
the
seconds.
players
I'm gonna wrap up.
that are worth a damn, they move around. And that's the tough situation that we're in right now. I think the issue is that a lot of these players, like, for example, if I said that I would pay you $1 million a year to be a teacher.
I'll do anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do anything.
Go ahead.
Be a teacher in social studies at this school for this amount of time. You'd say, well, fuck yeah, I'd do it without a doubt. That's what these people are looking at. Like you said, it's not short-term money. I'm thinking about what I can do right now, because what I do is understand my situation. Before it was grinding to the NFL. What the thing with the NIL is that it allows you to get that money right here, right now.
Even if something catastrophic happens.
If something happened tomorrow, if something happened that next day.
Don't pan out in the NFL, I already am getting this money now.
However much
and you can.
And I get it's a safety net
where it grows a lot. And yeah.
Well, that's the thing too. But most of them aren't educated to do that, and that's the reason. It's different now though. It's different now than the NFL. Now they have the NFLPA created those programs where rookies are mandatory. It's mandatory for them to be smart. Like because they used to have there was a crazy stat at one point in the NBA where it was like 90% of the players who enter are declaring bankruptcy after like their first year or two. Yeah. Now we're at the point where they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like they're still at that point because they haven't gotten there where they can get smarter. They're still at that point where now they could still just bankrupt themselves. They're doing dumb shit.
I don't think that's the issue in the sense of they're just getting the money a little fucking sooner, and they're just a little more stupid than they were.
Well, I'm not talking about them being stupid.
But
I just mean
they're ignorant and they don't know how much money that they actually got coming.
They're kids.
Yeah, exactly. So
They're kids.
I'd say between 17 and 23, we're still pretty dumb.
we're kids. I honestly, I'm 26 and I still don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Oh,
So
exactly. So we don't know any of that. What I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, getting that immediate money doesn't make much difference if you got it 3 years later for that money. And if I can get it now to pay off mom's house, or if I can get it now to get my family out the struggle, I honestly, to be honest, I think that the college programs are doing a lot better in the financial aspect than they do when you get to the NFL. Because the one thing that they introduced to us when I was at Toledo is that they would immediately be like, all right, this is what you do with your money, this is what you got, this is how much your expenses are, and so on and so forth. So that's it.
I don't think it's even close to better.
You know what isn't
Not even
helping?
close.
Fucking UW Credit Union standing outside of the goddamn student center giving out these fucking I don't know if it was just credit cards or like just checking accounts or whatever. I honestly didn't do it myself. But plenty of people who did that ended up owing a lot of money on
That happened to UW Madison.
defaulted credit cards.
UW Madison with kids opening up those credit lines.
Yeah, no, they're standing outside of the student center going, hey, you want a credit card? We'll give you a $2,000 credit limit.
Because especially
Here you go.
at UW Madison, like I know some schools around Wisconsin, the books are just included in your tuition. UW Madison, you have to buy your books. They would fuck kids up.
Yeah,
That UW because those books are fucking expensive, dude. They're crazy.
Yeah. Thankfully, Whitewater,
Why
it
the
was
fuck am
just
I paying
like...
$110 for the only 20 pages I'm gonna fucking read?
I gotta go.
At best. All right. That concludes it. We'll let Ethan get out of the way.
Nightmare, 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 nightmare.
Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching.